So Joe Biden has been discovered to have held on to classified documents from when he was a VP under the Obama administration. And of course, people are calling for an investigation into these documents. Many people are comparing it to the situation that we experienced last year with Donald Trump and his own classified documents that the FBI took it upon themselves to raid the Mar-a-Lago estate for and found nothing of consequential evidence or anything substantial enough to conduct further investigations on. People are comparing our current president's situation with the priors, but there is one major glaring difference in these two circumstances, and that is that the vice president does not have the authority to declassify documents at any given time. The president does have the authority to declassify documents. So Trump, even though he had the authority to declassify the documents that he took home with him, was still investigated under the pretenses that those documents were classified and it was illegal. Essentially, before it happened, with the limited information that's allowed to the public, which is not really to obfuscate our thoughts and our opinions necessarily initially, as much as it is to eliminate any potential interference in an investigation. So I understand why the information was limited when they were going into it, but everybody, meaning that if they found out that Trump was running a human trafficking ring through the classified documentation that they found at Mar-a-Lago, obviously it wouldn't matter whether he was president or not, classified or declassified. He was doing illegal things, and then that would, be what it was. But when we're talking about regular documents and that he has the power to declassify, then really the FBI knew, and if the FBI wasn't looking for something specific, then they shouldn't have conducted that. Basically, it was a waste of taxpayers' money to even watch any of that happen. I would dare say, let's not repeat that mistake with the situation for President Biden. But I think that since it was documents that were not declassified, it at least has a different value to investigate. Even if in the end we find out that it's the same inconsequential information that doesn't change anything. And it could have very well been the same situation where Joe Biden forgot. A lot of people were saying that Trump ended up with those documents because he forgot that he had them in his possession. Could very well be true. Pardon me. The same thing could be said for Joe Biden. We all know how much his mind is slipping, so it'd be very easy for him to forget things, I would assume. My whole point in saying that is, let's not jump to any hasty conclusions. Let's let the FBI, let's let the FBI conduct the investigation. But honestly, they could very well be involved with any scheme that Joe Biden has against the American people, as we've learned with these Twitter leaks. So it's almost like an internal investigation when you have the FBI investigating these kind of situations. But who else do we have to turn to? Private investigators? I don't know. We're going to have to come up with a better solution on how to investigate the government and people like the FBI with the recent developments in this Twitter files, because obviously they can't investigate themselves. And we can't trust any of the other alphabet agencies that exist right now in order to work against one another, because I personally believe that they're all in bed with each other. Why wouldn't they be? We're going to have to see some new development in the way that we deal with these kind of organizations, a new check and balance in order to keep these kind of powers in some type of in some type of control, essentially, because I mean, the organizations are already way too powerful, and they know that they are. And that's why they're going through private organizations, backdooring deals to third-party companies like Twitter, Facebook, similar to when they do those kind of things with mercenary groups or different factions in third world countries for economic destabilization. It's the same thing. It's just a trick being played internally on the American people with information. And that's dangerous because that means that they're setting us up for some type of next step. You're not trying to keep all this information from people as the end. It's the means to an end. What is the end? Let's pay attention.